Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Age of the Ring mod for Battlefield Earth 2 Rise of the Witch King. And now we come to the, I believe, the last overview I've not already done. The Kingdom of Rohan, which I kind of have done in the past. It was my first kind of video coming back into Age of the Ring. But we haven't really mentioned much about them in general. So we're going to have a quick look at Rohan, the land of the Horse Lords. And I'm going to try a technique that seems very, very good. Maybe too good. I don't know. Let's find out. You get Rohan like every other faction. You get your builders. You get your two different types of economy building. You have windmill and your farm. We're just going to build farms because they're cheaper. And they reduce the cost of cavalry, which we will probably want more in the later stages of the game. So what do we want to get here? We're going to start by getting the Horns of Hammerhand. Allows the forest to use the Horns of Hammerhand ability. Allows recruitment of the helmingas warriors at the barracks. And there's basically a fear effect around the base, which is pretty good. Can't deny that is pretty good. Now Rohan's economy is a little more stagnated than most factions because even your military buildings can produce you resources. At a reduced rate, obviously, and depending on where you build it, will give you more or less econ as well. But basically, every building you have is a military and a economy building because your farms can be switched to the peasantry of the Mark, which allows it to make peasants. After a while, you can then make these peasants, and they can be upgraded with the draft ability, which we are going to get, and get 2 units of peasants. So while we're making peasants, this farm does not produce any resources, I don't believe. Oh no, it produces 1 resource. That's it. That's all we get, 1 resource. While our barracks can make... Well, while our barracks produces... It doesn't show, okay. Let us get some more farms. Hopefully avoiding any creeps. And as you can see, we've now got the Horns of Hammerhand. Lovely. Let us get Feodred. Feodred's a really good hero. Very versatile. And even when he dies, he's decent because of his ability, which we'll go over soon. So basic peasants can get Forge Blades, Heavy Armor, and Banner Carriers like every other infantry, well, like most units of Rohan's roster, but they require the drafted ability to do so. Yep, peasants have received swords and shields, so now they can now they can get Forge Blades, Heavy Armor, and Banner Carriers. But unlike other factions, our second econ building isn't our Forge Works or Workshop, whatever you want to call it. Our upgrades come from the barracks. So if we want to get any of our military upgrades, we need the barracks. So it makes it a lot more of an important thing to have. And it's probably going to be your best military recruitment centre for a good portion of the game. Just to begin with, it gives you your cheap yeoman units. You can get Westfolders once you unlock the Horn of the Westfold. Also allows you to recruit Erkenbrand, but we'll go over that later. Then get the Edoras Kingsguard, and obviously the helmingas warriors. However, if you're going for a more econ-focused start, you don't really want to be getting the helmingas warriors because you probably want cavalry, which is cheaper because of the chosen upgrades, or chosen economy buildings. We're just going to get an archery range, get as much economy as we can. And we're already balancing out quite nicely. Another 600 already. Very, very good. We're going to get the Royal Banners, which is our banner upgrade. I believe every faction has this exact same building, But ours gives us damage, armor, and is basically a leadership buff as well. I'm fairly certain the largest one had that as well. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I have been proven wrong many times in the past. But we are going to build one windmill just to show off what it looks like. It's cool. It does exactly the same thing as the farm. You can draft peasants. That's all you get. And we're getting assaulted from many different sides, so we are going to get these stables and start getting our cavalry out. I'm going to build it here, because again, Econ is the name of the game. Fair trade, ride. I was going to say run, but no, don't run. You can't run, you're on a horse. Okay, let's switch you back to economy. And let's get some yeoman spearmen. Which, because of our upgrades, are recruited super quick. All the yeoman units are recruited pretty quickly. To try and protect our farm. Not very likely, but we can try. Don your helmet. Phaedra, apparently that makes you much stronger. Extra armor and avoids all ranged attacks. Oh, we're fine. Nope, not good. Not a good thing. Oh, I forgot. I decided to go against a hard Mordor, which is just as difficult as any normal brutal AI. They spam for days. They will spam for days. Let's get some towers built up to protect our important buildings, our military buildings. And let's also build a well back here. You may be thinking, why build a well back there? Well, that's because our wells are also the ways we improve our economy for our our resource buildings. All farms and windmills get an extra increase because they make bread. And, don't forget the name for it. Yeah, just wheat. So, you know, increases farms and windmills because, you know, water helps the crops grow. So, why not work here? Obviously, Rohan's the only faction this actually works with. Don't really want those. Those are terrible units. As for archers, we get our yeoman archers and then the Halitharin wardens. I do just prefer the yeoman archers because they can get the fire arrow upgrade. They don't really have. You don't really need anything else other than that. Okay, they're not moving forward. Let's protect here and my builder. Let's get a rebuild, or as it's called, shore up, because we're just using we're just putting more wood on wood. Not really much else to say but that. And they are coming straight from my fortress. That's a mistake. Regret. Yep, they're stunned in fear. Let us build a couple of towers to help protect the fortress, and then build a few more wells to increase our economy a little bit more. Make sure the wells are very well defended, because if they go, we lose our extra econ. Yeah, they're just punching at an immovable fortress right now. They're not doing anything good for themselves. Fredred, you do that. Everyone else, defend the fortress. You know, I know it's safe. We don't want to give them free power points, because an AI with power points is a bad thing. We're gonna get some of the Riders of Snowborn. Probably the first real cavalry unit you're going to want to get. The Horsemen of the Mark are trash. Only costing 300. You can just tell by that the cost is terrible. But in a pinch, you might need them. They're normally 400, but because of the extra reduction we get. Yeah. Okay, they just sent us walking through fire. Just realised. A bit late now, but oh well. Those Rise of Snowborn could not come quicker. Because those are all archers. Right there, they are all archers. Come on. Riders from Snowborn. Let's get some more yeoman spearmen before we get the helmingas warriors. I wanted to try and get the helmingas warriors first, but when you're fighting against Mordor, I kind of should have thought it's better. I should have known better than to think that would have worked. Oh well, you live, you learn. Yeah, they are really pushing up against me. I need to start pushing out against them. Let's build another well, increase our economy from those farms, and now the riders will snowball and just plow through everything. Yeah, look at that charge, half health on black Aurochs. On a normal Orc unit, that would be appalling, but you know, you get what you get. Make sure we get more riders of Snowborn, which have been decreased in cost by 200 because of our obsession over farms. Now 25%, I tell you, it does wonders. It does wonders for your health. What we need right now is to heal badly. We need to heal badly. Let's get the helmingas warriors now. The sooner we have them, the better. Because they just trample and kill. Don't destroy that well. Come on, riders, you can do better than this. Push into there. Where's the helmingas warriors? Here they come. We'll talk more into these soon, but just so you know, they can mount and dismount, and they are super strong and super cool looking. I don't have them command group 3, command group 2. Oh, I'm really just doing back and forth with this, aren't I? Love that horn. Gotta use it every chance you get. Start getting our upgrades, fire arrows, banner carriers, because our archers are damage dealers in the front line. And they have a troll. They have a mountain troll. Swords and shields for no peasants at all. Fun days. Let's get one unit of Helithran wardens. Okay, time to start doing the kind of overview things I normally do. So, already talked about the peasants. Now we can talk about the yeoman spearmen. Exactly the same as the peasant, except they don't need the draft for their upgrades, and they can make a porcupine formation which gives them an extra 100% armor. Pretty good. Pretty good. You're basically the cavalry faction that also was massive anti-cav, which before Rohan didn't have at all. When they were actually a separate faction, not when they were part of the men faction, because then they did have the Rohan pikemen. Don't let them pass. That is a level 5 Eastling. What on earth have they been eating? Okay, now we can get the West Folders. Let's get some of them, because they are very cheap and very good. Switch off our yeoman archers. Exactly the same as normal archers. Well, archers that existed before. But they can go into a skirmish formation, which gives them a bit of damage, extra speed, but loss in armor. Which is about average for a normal unit of that capacity and strength. What the hell is killing this guy? Oh, Nazgul just suck in this game. Oh, got more yeomen. And yeah, they can get fire arrows, heavy armor, and banner carriers. The Helithran wardens, though, can't get any of that stuff. They just have an ability that causes monsters to flee in terror. So they basically have a black arrow. And yet it also works as a black arrow. In fact, yep, it is exactly the black arrow. But instead of being called a black arrow, you know, it's the Helithran Guard's ability. Stop killing my builder. Leave him alone. I've got to keep using my cavalry. I've got to stop not using my cavalry. It's getting annoying now. Okay, let's get one of each of these so I can show them off as well. So West Folders, have a quick look. At level 2, they briefly gain damage and movement speed. At level 2, they also get the shield wall formation, which gives them, as you can guess, a shield wall. But it also gives the benefit of increasing their damage reduction to arrows. So, you know, just an all in all, really powerful unit. And super worth the power. You need to use it at least once to get the actual units, but they are all well worth it. As is the hero, Erkenbrand. No, that's not Erkenbrand, you're Erkenbrand. Don't let them pass. Cast him out. What next? Guess we'll show off the Edoras Kingsguard. Our elite tier 3 barracks, spear and shield units. Before we show off the helmingas. Because yeah, that's unit that's gleamed a nice blue that's now level 3. Look at that damage. That troll's doing nothing, and it's dying very quickly. That will also be thanks to the Rise of Snowborn. Look at all those beautiful archers waiting to be run down. Do it, boys. Show them no mercy. Oh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Love it. Love all of it. Give yourself a round of applause, men. You've earned it. Now, let's build more farms, because we have not been doing enough of our economy yet. We're still not in the thousands. We're still only hitting about 2,000. That's not good enough. So where's the King's Guard? Here. They immediately start upgraded with heavy armor, so you don't need to buy the upgrade for them. So they only need forge blades and banner carriers. But they also have the King's Guard grant nearby structures armor, and this stacks with buffs and spells. So if you're like playing with a Rohan, not a Rohan, a Gondor and a Lothlorien, you can get the March Wardens of Lothlorien, the Tower Guard of Gondor, and the King's Guard, and you can make a single allied structure have around 150% extra armor. If that's not ridiculous, then tell me what is, because I can't think of anything more ridiculous than that. That is insane amounts of armor. And really, really, really underestimated. But yeah, that's more of a multiplayer thing, not a single player thing. But other than that, they also have a level 2 ability, level 3. Enemies in the radius suffer a minus 33% damage reduction. Granted, it has to be on a target unit you have to target. But if you're good at micromanaging, it's worth it. Let's get Bountiful Harvest, which makes all farms and windmills produce even more money, which gives them a nice little green aura. So, compared to factions like Imladris, the Dwarves, that have only one resource building upgrade, that gets an upgrade from powers and such, Rohan doesn't care. They're both good. You can get farms if you want to go more cavalry, you want to go more infantry, you can go windmills. I don't recommend always going windmills though. Do a bit of half and half. Because they both work really well. But as I've mentioned, you're likely going to want to go more cavalry in the late game, especially against a Mordor, because they only have one good pack unit, and you can just deal with that with your heroes and dedicated archers or infantry, because they will do damage, and they are really good. Okay, let's keep getting more farms out, and let's start going through our cavalry. Let's start with our cheapest cavalry, and as you can see, not the most well done. They can only get forged blades and no heavy armor, the Horsemen of the Mark, but at level 3 they do get the armor. So, like most militia tier units of each race, or faction even, you do get a free upgrade at a level advantage, which is pretty good. Can't deny that is pretty good. Then you have the Riders of Rohan, which is nowhere at all like their picture on the the Rohirrim Warriors. Yeah, they can go wedge formation, which is exactly the same as the Dunedain Outriders. Get more damage, you lose a bit of armor, but your crush acceleration goes down, so you can really just go in and kill a lot. But that's all there is to them. Other than that, forge blades, heavy armor, and you can purchase the Rohirrim shields, which come from here, which just reduces the damage taken from armor, arrows, and pikemen. Like in the good old days of BFME 1. Oh, I miss those days. Those are good days. And they keep destroying my buildings without my consent. Oh, how dare you. How dare you, how dare you, how dare you. So next there are the Rohirrim Archers, which are exactly the same as the Rohirrim Warriors, but they are archers instead of infantry, and they don't get a special formation. They just sit in the back and kill while your cavalry charges them down. Next we have the Riders of Snowborn. Again, don't need heavy armor because they start with heavy armor. They're the Riders of Snowborn. I'd say they're about on par with the Edoras Kingsguard in strength. saying that they are cavalry, and Rohirrim cavalry at that. And then last but not least, for cavalry, because we're not including the helmingas in the cavalry, we get the Edoras Kingsguard, which are actually above the Edoras Kingsguard here. Yeah, the mounted Kingsguard, and they're restricted to only 3. These Kingsguard are not restricted. So unlike the helmingas, you can get 3 of these, but only 1 of them. But the helmingas are better than your other elite cavalry units, just because of the fact they can alternate between ranged and melee. And we are losing our army. Let's get some Kingsguard, Forge Blades heavy armor, and some more archers. So all in all, Rohan's roster is very well balanced. You want some cheap peasants, you can get them from here. You want slightly more expensive peasants, you can get them from here. And they, if you want them with spears to kill cavalry, you want them to shoot from afar and do really good damage. You've got options for everything. You need any kind of dedicated cavalry, you can get that. They're attacking my base with siege equipment. I do not approve of this. I should really be paying more attention to this battle. Swords and shields for no peasants at all. You've got a horn, haven't you? Yep. Come on, destroy the battering ram. What are you doing?
Halt their advance! They are upon us!
Oh, they're dead.
Shields!
Doesn't matter how good archers are, they still get one shot to most things. Let's get all our heroes now, because I've had enough of this. I've had enough of this Mordor. Shield, run away. The drummer trolls are so OP in this game. It's ridiculous. But they still die to Python pretty easily, so I'm happy about that. Merry is here. Let's hope he can do something. Probably not, but we'll find out. Erkenbrand has fallen. Come on, man. He ejects us into it. Merry, don't you dare die immediately to orcs. Don't you dare. These are orc pikemen. Basic orc pikemen. How dare you think you can die to them? Okay, there's some Easterlings in there as well. I'll grant you a parley on that one.
We stop them here.
And there comes the king.
Don't let them pass.
Okay, we're surviving. We're coming back. We're coming back. Keep feeding armor with our cavalry. Have the infantry ruled by Elfhelm, Merry, and Eowyn, as well as Erkenbrand when he comes back. Because Erkenbrand is the one guy who can't mount a horse. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're coming back. We're coming back. They've left our lands. And they just keep coming back with more stuff anyway. But we are making really good money now. We're entering the late game. I got the bountiful harvest, so we're making good money. No matter what happens now, we are safe in the pocket. We need another builder. And other than that, yeah. Okay, where was I? I was talking about the mounted Edoras Kingsguard. While we wait, let's talk about the helmingas, since they're still alive, full health, and level 6. So they can mount and dismount, as I've already said. They get the Thor Hornburg. The helmingas can crush enemies and are immune to arrows for a short duration. The crush ability only works if they're not mounted, but other than that, yeah. Immunity to arrows when playing as a faction that's more dedicated archers, such as Imladris, is really good and very, very valuable. So having that a bit, and also look at that. Look at the amount of damage they're taking from crushing those pikemen. 0. 0 damage from crushing pikemen. How many units can you say can suffer 0 damage from crushing down pikemen? Even basic orc pikemen. Not many, because those outriders we had just died instantly. Look at that. The trash unit of the Rohirrim, well, they're not trash, but the Rohirrim warrior unit suffered, lost half their unit while the helmingas just kept on charging. That just shows their immediate strength compared to them. Then they have Mark of Helm. The helmingas grant that Mark of Helm to an allied unit, temporarily giving them extra attack speed. This does not work on themselves, I don't think. It does not. But you know, it's still good to have it. Eowyn's fighting on her own. That's why she's going to die. It's okay, she'll come back. All problems can be solved with money. In this game, all problems can be solved with money. Anywhere else, not so much. But it's time to start pushing back against Mordor, because they've been grinding my coattails for too long now. Get Air the Sunrisers and the Oath. No, that's not going to be Oath of Kirin. Oath of Kirin is just gives you some Gondor units. That's not a very fun thing to look at. Let's use Air the Sunrisers. Your weather effect stuns all enemies and slowly heals your units around the map. So not as widespread, powerful as the Enlarger's power, but you get your Enlarger's power in 2 powers. You have the Bountiful Harvest split off from your Air the Sunrisers, or from your weather ability. So you just get the passive resource bonus permanently instead of just periodically when you use the power, which in most cases is better. I can't say it's not better, because it is better to have the ability to split off. Okay, we've now got the mounted Kingsguard, but we're going to talk about them after we talk about what's left of the helmingas. We have one last ability, the Mark of Freka. The helmingas grant the Mark of Freka to an enemy unit, causing them to flee in fear and lose armor. So if there's a certain elite unit like the Horrors of Mount Graham, Veterans of that Alliance, you want to kill off, and you want to make sure they don't fight back, there you go. Have them flee in terror and kill them. Also, they're now level 10. Yeah, the helmingas unit is probably one of the strongest, if not the strongest, hero elite unit in the game currently. Veterans of the Last Alliance are a close second, because you can get 2 of them, but they do not level up nowhere near as fast as the helmingas do, because they're not mounted, so they can't always guarantee a kill when they attack someone, because someone else might take it from them. And if they fight alone, no matter how strong they are, even with 2,000 health, getting crushed by a helmingas, or a helmingas warrior unit, which has, yes, 780 health each, on a cavalry unit, that's better than average. Obviously still not as good as the Veterans of the Last Alliance with their 2,000, but still, having a unit that's that good, that can actually escape a beating down from like in a Warg Riders, for example, compared to the veterans, which cannot as likely escape. It's something you need to be concerned about when you're fighting against Rohan. Their cavalry just are that versatile. And how do we have a full 1,000 command points? Oh, there's a whole army back here, isn't there? Yep. Yep, keep forgetting I keep leaving my armies behind. So as I said already, Rohan, very versatile roster. You want your early tier units, you can get them. You want good late tier units, you've got them in spades. You just have a unit for every role. You have cheap archers, you've got slightly better dedicated archers that do really good damage against monsters, which I say are Rohan's biggest weakness. Because at the end of the day, you are a cavalry nation. If you can't deal with things like monsters, like Mumakil, trolls, basically half of Mordor's roster, then you're going to have a problem. Because you can't trample a giant monster like you could a orc or a human. Okay, we're getting the smackdown on Mordor now. Good, very, very good. Let's make sure none of our heroes die. So I'm going to start going over my heroes soon. But first, let's mix things up a bit. Let's talk about the powers first. So we have used to be what used to be the best scouting power in the game, the Lone Scout, who is an Eye of Sauron as a horse, which grants nearby allies extra speed, which used to be invulnerable, no longer invulnerable, very hard to kill, but no longer invulnerable, so you can't trample over enemy units and just get away with it. He was very annoying in the beginnings when Rohan was first brought out. But since version 5, he has been neutered a little, so he is no longer as ridiculous as he was. And as I mentioned, yeah, what we're going to do against that Great Beast if we didn't have the helmingas, or our strongest units by our side? Very little. We could have done very, very little to stop them. Yeah, we need to fall back. Kill the troll, because trolls are always present. There's always a troll somewhere in the world, either physically or metaphorically. Oh. Other two powers we've already mentioned. Draft gives all peasants the ability to get forged blades, heavy armor, and also obviously gives them swords and shields, which makes them more competent combatants. And obviously we have our rebuild, really cool kind of Muster of the Rohirrim, temporarily increases cavalry production speed. So if you just need more cavalry, there you go. You got your Call the Horde for cavalry. Horn of the Westfold does exactly what it says on the tin. It's your horn, but it does slightly better than the normal horn like Tangado High did, which is 33% on damage and armor. This is a 50% damage and armor boost, and allows you to recruit Erkenbrand and the Westfolders, which are again a very important set of units to get, and a very good, decent hero you should try and keep alive because he is really good. Then you get Skill of the Wazzers, which I did place down, and it did get destroyed. So we'll show that off again when we get the chance. But for those that saw the Rohan videos I did on the Dine 4.5 way back when, we did show it off, and they're basically a reference to the Wazzers of Gonbori Gon, followed under Gonbori Gon during the March of the Rohirrim to Gondor. They'd actually got lost in the Druidine forest, so the Druidine helped them. The Wazzers they were called, and their leader was Gonbori Gon, and yeah, nice little interaction between different race, not races, but different factions of humans working together. The Puckle men and the Rohirrim, which I don't believe are related in any way, shape or form, but they could be. I mean, the Rohirrim did come from the Eartheod, which is the land, the Vale of the Anduin. Elfhelm died, don't worry, we'll get him back. Yeah, enough talking about lore. Then we have the Oath of Kirion, which summons 2 battalions of Anorian spearmen and archers. So in the early game, if you want to go for that aggressive push against an enemy faction that may be more cavalry-based or very spammy, just get those 4 units and you've got a pretty good basis covered because they are very dedicated and strong infantry units. For those that haven't seen Gondor's Anorian troops, again, really good, very highly recommend because they are very powerful. Other than that, not much to talk about. Powers I've already mentioned. Bountiful Harvest, Ere the Sun Rises, know what they do. Then we get the Boar of Everholt, which is basically Sharku's Untamed Warg from Edine mod, made into a power as a boar, which is really, really powerful. The boar tramples, deal good sea damage, debuffs, and attacks and everything in sight. So don't summon it near your troops. Summon the lone scouts, send them in, put the boar in, and just let them go wild. And then finally we get the Last March of the Ents, which, like in every mod for Lord of the Rings, Rohan just gets Ents and Treebeard. Very good siege potential, very powerful at just Thanos snapping a fortress away before your enemy can even recognize it. And then finally we have Stormcrow, which summons Gandalf the White and the Free Hunters. So actually, Rohan is the one faction currently that has Gimli. Because Erebor doesn't include Gimli, because it only includes Erebor at the time of the Hobbit films. Well, Hobbit book even, the Hobbit timeline. So yeah, we don't have Gimli in Erebor, so we get Gimli here. And Legolas, which is also the one place you can get Legolas from currently. Mirkwood faction is being worked on, just not yet released onto Age of the Ring yet. I believe it's going to be the next faction. I don't think there's going to be them and the Southern Realms, and then that's it for factions for Age of the Ring. Which is cool. It is very cool. But there are quite a few things that could add in, like, you know, Gimli to the Erebor faction. Legolas obviously going to be coming into the Mirkwood faction, which is always a cool thing to have. Oh yeah, I have completely forgot that we actually have a workshop. But we can build our siege equipment. I keep forgetting factions do get siege equipment. Oh, we get the ring. Okay. Okay, let's get the ring and put it in the fortress so we can show off the ring hero as well. Look how long these guys are fighting for. Oh, I didn't know that was an aura. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, we get an aura for our surrender arms ability, which is pretty cool. Makes it a little bit more useful. I didn't know that until now. Okay, we've been over all the powers. We'll eventually get Stormcrow and the Boar if we have enough time. So we can also get Frodo Baggins for our ring hero. Frodo is basically the ring hero for most of the good factions. Only as Erebor do we get Bilbo Baggins, because obviously Bilbo's more lore appropriate for the people of Erebor. And the time, of course. Okay, let's go over fortress upgrades. We get a lot of upgrades for Rohan. So we get the Royal Banners, which I've already said is a leadership buff and decreases the cost in heroes and builders. Then we get the Hasty Fortifications, which is our fortress upgrade power. Then we get the Desperate Garrison, stations spear throwers on the fortress, so that's just around here on the watchtowers. Just like with Misty Mountains, you get some defenders that can really deal some good damage. Flaming Munitions add fire damage to attached towers, and I believe that also adds it to your garrison towers as well. Unsure on that, do not quote me on that. I'm just taking it from the fact that it worked with Dol Guldur. Okay, show off the skill of the Wazzers. We get 3 powers, the Secret Paths, units become stealthed. The Faithful Stone, summon units to defend a building. And then finally the Stone Skin, which will make units in the area, will freeze enemy units, and they can't be attacked nor damaged. Well, can't be attacked or attacked. And yeah, that's why I don't like the Great Beasts, because they are so powerful for their level. It's ridiculous. And then it just got level 5, and now it's dead. One of the most confusingly worthless units of the whole Age of the Ring game are the Great Beasts. They're a flavor unit. I can't think of any other use for them other than being for flavor. No joke, I honestly cannot think of a reason why you'd want them when you get Mumakil. Or why they would put them in when they already get Mumakil. It's just another unit that's annoying to deal with. Then Horns of Hammerhand, we've already shown off. Does cool thing. And let's get the Helmingas Warriors. Then we get the Mead Hall, which heals allies around the fortress, which is another well ability, which is always good. It's always good to have more healing abilities where you can get them. But then we finally get the Rise of the Rohirrim, which allows the summoning of 3 fully upgraded Rohirrim battalions. Notice how it doesn't say temporarily. We get 3 permanent Rohirrim units that start out fully upgraded. Oh, and Elfhelm's dead again because I forgot it was on his mount. Whoopsie! There's some rabbit slips doing here. Sam, the men are hungry.
Sons of Aeol, here for your service.
Oath of Kiri yet stands.
Purge the mark of this sky.
We're doing well. We are doing well. Should have got an upgrade for these units already. Whoopsie, my bad. Okay, yeah, that's all of that.
Don't let them pass.
I think we actually might have more cavalry in command points than we have of infantry. That would be a thing, eh? Okay, let's summon the boar. Obviously, as you can see, it has to be in our vision range. So let's show off the lone scout as well. Our army should retreat. And yep, the lone scouts. The outrider moves faster, or gives the units more speed, and as you can see, oh, he might not take damage anymore. Okay, it might have just been my imagination that one time. He does not take damage. He cannot be killed, and he can kill things. Tell me how this is fair. And then we get to summon a giant ass boar that one of the lords of the Rohirrim killed, I believe. And we have no control over him. He just does whatever the hell he wants. Yep. I would say the boar is, again, just another flavour unit. He's not really that good. There is a lot of there are quite a few things in Age of the Ring that are just there for flavour, to make a certain faction not too powerful, but to give them something that makes it appropriate to the lore. I think that's it. I think that's all they really do things like that for. Makes sense. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to have a bit of flavour instead of all powerhouses, but it could help to have a bit. No. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just rambling for the sake of rambling. So as I said, we do get two different kinds of siege equipment. The Horsehead Ram, which is just a normal battering ram, and an Onaga, which is a trebuchet, which can also shoot flaming bales of hay, which is basically like the oil casks for the dwarves. At least that's what they used to have in their Iron Horse catapults. Also, the workshop heals nearby siege equipment, and this ability, the Monberg Masonry, gives all structures extra health, because look, it turns them from wood to stone, kind of. You're basically changing buildings from having nothing but wood to, yep, now they've got stone walls, stone edging. I think this was already stone and gold edging. That's the same. These look a bit more out of hardwood than just wood. And then our unique building, unlike the library of the Imladris, we get the mustering ground, or the draft tower even. And from it we can summon 2 battalions of peasants. But then we can also choose a different upgrade. We can get the Oath of the Aered, so permanently alters the activate oath to summon a battalion of upgraded Rohirrim warriors, to summon a battalion of Helitharim wardens, or summon a battalion of Westfolders, which obviously again requires a Horn of Westfold to use. Well, you need to use that at least once before you can use this. Yeah, it's just a quick upgrade. So you can only pick one, so we'll build 3 towers. And these are temporary units. But yeah, the normal O's you have taken ability summons peasants. You see the bell getting mashed, you get a bit of wind, and then you get some peasants, which come fully drafted to protect you. And yep, it is 2 units. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty good ability to have. Again, Rohan's main theme is that half of their faction is peasants, and they all ride to their to the strongholds of their king to protect their lands, because that's what the Rohirrim are. They've got loads of different like provinces, the Westfold, Eastfold, that are all defended by different marshals. For example, Eomer watches over the Eastfold. Erkenbrand watches over the Westfold. And Grimbold. That's Grimbold. I think his name is Grimbold. He's not in here. The Elfhelm is another one as well. Unfortunately, you don't get Gamling or Hammer in this. You get Eowyn, Erkenbrand. You do get some uniqueness, but not all of the heroes that Rohan are known for, because obviously if you did, there'd be too many to name. You'd have all of this and a bit of this as well, because there are a lot of important named characters of Rohan. Because like Gondor, it is very vast, but with Gondor, you only really know, well, from the movies, you only know of the ones in Anorian. You don't know about the ones from Forlong, Lasarnak, Pelagia, Pinnefgelen, the Blackroot Vale. Gondor and Rohan are both very vast kingdoms. But I think it's shown better the uniqueness in Gondor than Rohan. But Rohan is mainly just the units that reside within Edoras and Fort in Helm's Deep. Yep, let's get the other two upgrades on here. And you can see the oaths have now been changed so we get Rohirrim warriors. I said that last bit very poorly. I must apologise. Yes, I'm not the best when it comes. I'm decent when it comes to the lore. I'm not the best. I'm not the worst, but I'm not the best. Especially when it comes to the lore of Gondor and Rohan. I know a decent amount, but I'm more of an elf fan, to be fair. So yeah, you get your draft towers, a cool little thing. You need extra units for a short duration. You can use that. Are they as good as buying the units? No. It costs 600 to get them, or to pay for a unit of Westfolders, where a normal unit of Westfolders can be even unupgraded. Is still really powerful to have as the unit because you can use their powers. Here though, you can only use the shield wall. You can't use the fourth Eorlinga's ability. But yeah, lovely little shield wall, cute as anything. To me anyway. Okay, let's start pushing out. I'm rambling on too long and not making much sense, so we better start wrapping this up. Last thing to talk about really are just the heroes. I mean, I've already mentioned what the siege equipment does, but since we've now got the command points for them, let's get some Onagas. We can only get up to 6 Onagas, so siege equipment has been restricted because of the fact that people could just spam them. It didn't really make much sense to spam because they really are just. It is pointless to spam siege equipment. They can't defend themselves. And you kind of just want to focus on your infantry. You kind of do need to focus on infantry. Why aren't you moving? Move forward, you fools! No wonder you keep dying and they keep getting levels. You useless bastards. Oh yeah, Hillithrin Wardens. They get none of their abilities. So yeah, like I said, you want a cheap, quick unit that can pay for itself quickly after a while. Then yeah, you want these guys. If you want more name-state units that will live a lot longer and do a lot more for you, then just buy the units. Because these don't last long enough to warrant going just infinite draft halls. You can. It might be a fun thing I do in the future. I just build nothing but draft towers and use them as my defense. But holy hell, would that be expensive? Because it's around 1,000 or even 1,300 to pay for the fully upgraded draft towers. Because an unupgraded draft tower is garbage. Let's face it, it is garbage. But getting one unit of peasants is garbage for 450. It's basically you have to get 3 units of peasants to make it the same as just buying 3 peasants from a farm. You tell me if you think that's worth it. Okay, all our units just need to be command grouped together and just charge in now. Heroes for Rohan are mostly cavalry based, but let's just go over them quickly. Merry, same as Pippin, can throw stones or just use a sword. He's got a cloak. When he's got his sword out, he does bonus damage against the Nazgul. At level 5, he gets armor and damage when near Eowyn, but also nearby heroes gain experience faster. And Merry's health is increased, so he becomes a little bit tougher at level 5. And then at level 10, he gets the Halfling Courage, which plunges west. He basically does a hero damaging move, like what he does to the Witch King, which is pretty cool. Next, let's show off Elfhelm because he's about to die again. He can mount his horse or dismount, And he's your arch. He's actually a unit that can use his bow and sword. So like Baragond, like Halbarad, but he can also mount a horse and choose between his sword and bow. So he's your most versatile hero weapon-wise. Then he has quick rescue. Nearby cavalry gain speed when near infantry gain armor. So you want to escape, or you want to just hold the line? There you go. That's the power for you. And both cavalry and infantry both gain bonus damage and against machines. So if you want to, if you just want to plunge in deep against an enemy siege line, you can do that too. Then you get promotion. Select a type battalion to upgrade it, permanently granting them extra damage.
You cannot stay here.
There you go. You're promoted. But can be used on helmingas warriors because they're already too good. Okay, everyone needs to retreat now because I've not been paying attention to how quickly you're dying. Everyone retreat. Let's show off Gandalf and the Free Hunters while we're talking through the heroes before Theoden dies. Before Theoden dies. He has a heal. He has a heal. He has a heal. He has a heal. Theoden has a heal. I forgot Theoden has a heal. Merry Dead don't care. Oh, wait, well, what? All right. That's where Gamling and Halmer come from. We'll talk about that soon. Where's Elfhelm? His last ability at level 9. Riders of Snowborn, Halifrin Wardens, Yeoman Archers, and Rohirrim Archers nearby Elfhelm, or near Elfhelm, gain range and armor. Don't know why that affects Riders of Snowborn as well. Oh, because he's the leader of the Riders of Snowborn. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. But yeah, he also just boosts all archers by giving them extra protection, and can fight from further away. Let's quickly go over the Great Stormcrow heroes. Aragorn gives, when near Legolas and Gimli, Aragorn gains armor and speed, and he gets the Leader of Men ability, which, when activated, gives him damage and immunity to terror. Immunity to terror. Why do you need immunity to terror? I don't know. But Legolas, exactly the same, damage and speed. Double arrow shot that does splash damage. Gimli, my boy, you get armor and speed as well, and go Baruch Khazad. Khazad Manu. And then get Gandalf, who has nearby heroes have reduced ability cooldowns, so he just makes all your heroes do their things faster. Not as good as an Elrond restoration, but still pretty good. And first light of the 5th day, splash of light that stuns nearby units and deals mana damage. You want a quick killing ability? Well, an annoying ability that somehow makes him levitate. Well, there you go. And we now have all the powers. that was easy. Yeah, to say these guys last a decent while is a good thing too. Look at that damage. He almost killed that troll. The Boar of Everholt will finish the job. Makes a weird ass noise when it's summoned though. It's a bit scary actually. Not scary, but it's a bit frightening. Frightening, annoying, and there. Okay, next hero. Theodred, again, can mount his horse Brego, which, if you didn't know, was Aragorn's horse during the time of the Two Towers and Return of the King. So yeah, Brego was originally Theodred's horse. Ill-fated, when Theodred dies, there he is, Grimbold. Grimbold temporarily appears to guard the fallen prince. So Grimbold protects Theodred, well, basically comes to aid the now dead prince when he dies. So even when he dies, in fact, I'd say Theodred could probably solo a fortress with Grimbold. I'm not lying. That could happen. It could happen. I've seen some crazy stuff happen with Grimbold. He is a massive structure damage dealer. Then he has Look of Battle. Theodred equips his helmet, gaining armor, and when activated, Theodred temporarily avoids all range damage. But when activated level 7, the above effect is coupled with temporary invulnerability. That's right, ain't no one gonna touch him. Ain't no one's gonna stand a chance to quick summon over Kyrian to kill off these orcs. I don't like them. They're in my base, they're invading my private space. I don't like it. Next we get the Prince of the Riddermark, which is the exact same design as Elfhelm's ability. Yep, just slightly different background. Theoden equips his royal cloak. Like that red cloak right there. Grants him armor and attack damage, movement speed, and health regeneration for Theoden, Éomer, and Éowyn. and nearby units gain damage. And this is all passive, by the way. So Phaedrid has one of the biggest leadership buffs in the game at level 5. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then finally at level 9, Determination, Phaedrid regains 50% of his maximum health and gains movement speed. So just a quick way of escaping or to chase someone down. Very similar to Haldir's ability to gain health and do more damage but lose armor. Next on the list, Erkenbrand. Not as versatile because of, like for example, he can't mount. But he does have his Gilded Horn, which nearby infantry temporarily gain damage, bonus speed and knockback resistance. So he's your anti-cav hero. Then he gets the Valor of Hammerhand. Erkenbrand can crush enemies and is immune to arrows for a short duration, so that's just the ability of custom created heroes put into a normal hero, which is really good. Then he gets the Marshal of the Westmark. Westfolders near Erkenbrand gain armor. So again, he's just the Westfolder general in a nutshell. He just buffs all his units and beats the crap out of anyone that comes near him. And then finally at level 8, he can summon 2 battalions of Westfolders. So, you know, his buffs actually do come useful. So, yeah, the best thing to do with Erkenbrand, just spam out Westfolders, because at that point, Westfolders are around the same strength as the, what's their name? The Edoras Kingsguard, the unmounted Kingsguard. Really good, really dedicated infantry, made even better by a hero. And we all know units that are made better by a hero are units you probably want to go for. But of course the fact he's locked behind a power, along with his Westfolder units, might make you think, is he worth getting, or is it better to get a different hero instead? Again, up to you. You might really like Erkenbrand, you might really like his lore and such. Me personally, I'm not really bothered either way. He's good either way. Oh, and here's the Shaman that you summon when you use the Faithful Stone. And he's okay. I mean, he's beating the hell out of that troll. Always good to have.
We stop them here. Shields.
So next, Eomer. He's probably the most unchanged hero. First ability, allied cavalry near him gain damage from trample deceleration at level 3. This is Pillager ability. Gives him resources per kill and all units around him. Spear throw, area of effect, range damage. Can mount 5 foot his horse. First of Girthwine, temporarily gains extra damage. So he's your big damage dealing hero. And finally, stand your ground, creates a ring which gives armor and resistance to knockback and fear immunity within it. Lasts 60 seconds. So yeah, a decent sized aura of defense. Can't deny that's still pretty good. Even on foot, that's really good. Okay, don't destroy the fortress yet. Don't destroy the fortress yet. Okay, we gotta go back. We gotta go back. We've killed 2 men. We've killed them too much. We've done too much. We have to stop. So Emma, he's your stand your ground hero. Quite literally, stand your ground. But he also does really well in battle. He's just overall a really good hero, because of his resource per kill ability. I completely missed Eowyn. We'll talk about her soon. So yeah, Eomer, you don't really want to get into in the beginning because you have to level him up, and your early game cavalry mixed with him is not good at all because early game cavalry sucks for Rohan. But yeah, get him eventually. He'll level up quickly. You'll get your resources, which just makes an absurd amount as always. Okay, before we carry on, Eowyn, your first form-changing hero, and only form-changing hero. Lady of Rohan, peasants near Eowyn gain armor and an experience fast. So if you want to just go peasant spam, Eowyn's your girl. Best girl, Eowyn, as always. Then she has readiness. Target farm and windmill temporarily reduces peasants that are drafted. So you may think, first 2 abilities out of 4 that only affect peasants. Is she a good hero? Well, we're going to quickly go over her level 8 ability, Lady of Aphelion, because she marries Faramir. Summons a golem that heals nearby units and detects stealth. So if you ever wanted to get stop getting annoyed by those ranged of Aphelion or other ranger units, then Eowyn's your girl. But also a heal anywhere is really good. Just ask Sam. He's got a summonable heal, but his is permanent, unlike Eowyn's, which is temporary. But I've gone over her level 5 ability, Durnhelm. Dons Durnhelm's armor. And this changes her dramatically. She can now mount her horse, Windfaller, which when mounted gains armor near Rohirrim units. Wait, is this unique to each person? No, it's just Eowyn. So Eowyn, when she mounts her horse, gives Rohirrim units, which is our cavalry, 25% armor, which is really good. Then she has Courage for Our Friends, inspires our target hero to perform great deeds. The target hero temporarily gains damage, double experience, and Merry gains bonus damage and double experience gain. So use it on Merry if you want to, but I wouldn't use it on Merry. Use it on any other hero you want to really level up, like Theoden. Then she has her Begone Foul Dwimmerlake, a level 10. You may think, her Spear Thrower level 10, which was originally level 1, that's a bit much. But powerful ranged attack that against a single target, deals great damage to flying units, deals 200% extra damage to the Witch King of Angmar. Which you may think, oh, that's useless. Witch King of Angmar is already pretty bad. Mordor's Witch King of Angmar in Age of the Ring is no joke. Find a way to kill him, and Eowyn is the way to kill him. Because your archers, they'll do good damage, but Eowyn, bonus damage against flying units, and the extra damage against the Witch King of Angmar, I'm fairly certain that is a from a full health Witch King to at least a down to a 10% health Witch King. No joke. I believe she is that good. So yeah, if you want, so in the early game she can buff peasants, make a forest, but her real strength comes from when she reaches level 5, where she can get her horse and really do some really big ball damage. She is really good. Do not underestimate her. She is really, really good. As you can see, oh, it's even got a nice little horse. It's got a horsey running around it. Ain't that cool? They're destroying a cooking pot. Fire the hay! Hey, look at that. Screw you, great beast. You can't do nothing to me. They're still killing a cooking pot, by the way. They are killing a cooking pot. And do not step into the fire. Do not step into the fire. No, 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 no. Out. Out the fire. Out the fire. So, last hero, Theoden. What, is he worth 4,000? Allies near Theoden gain armor and experience faster. This is not subjective to cavalry, to peasants, your infantry, everything. Everything gets better and stronger with Theoden around. So immediately that's a big buff. Guess his horse. Next, I've already mentioned this ability, Strength Remembered. Level 3, heal nearby units. I know we don't get a heal, so this power seems even better than it should. But the fact the only other way you heal is by building wells, which you build an abundance of because you want to, because of your upgrades to your farms. This power then becomes, at level 5, summons 2 battalions of Kingsguard accompanied by Hammer and Gamling. Remember I said it earlier when I said this faction doesn't get all their heroes? I was wrong. I completely forgot we get Hammer. For every allied building in Hammer's vicinity, he gains 50% extra armor. And Gamling, to whatever end, target hero temporarily gains armor, can only use on Theoden, Aemma, Eowyn, or Theodred. So only the royal family. Which makes sense. So yeah, Theoden already, only when he gets to level 3 up to level 5, he has already got a massive leadership. He can summon 2 units and 2 heroes. And heal. I haven't mentioned that, I think I might have already, but that's not important. Then we get Arise, Riders of Theoden. Theoden must be mounted to use this ability. Theoden nearby cavalry gain 100% armor. The more riders near Theoden, the larger the bonus. 10% armor per battalion increase. No force can slow this charge.
and the red dawn. Remember your orders.
Yep. Sword shall be shaken. Shield shall be splintered. A sword day. A red day. Ere the sun rises. Then we have finally Oaths Fulfilled. Target units gain large experience. Remember when I mentioned how Glorfindel had a massive experience boosting ability? Well, unfortunately, all my units are already level 5, so I can't show this off. But imagine mixed with that radius, mixed with Theoden's already experience gaining ability, and then to give all your other units, you're basically making all your units level 5.
Shields.
That was an ability that originated from the Dying Mod version 3, where Rohan could summon cavalry and make them level 5 instantly. And that was overpowered. So the fact they can do it now again, in this new mod, where experience I believe is even more important, you can probably get those helmingas from level 1 to level 10 immediately with that power. Not a joke, no joke here. You can make your best unit instantly its best with one ability. With one ability, you can make your units turn your units from a subpar, not subpar, a already good start to just be a million times better. Let's summon the Brave Stormcrow again, and summon the Lance March against how many ends we get. We get many ends. 6 ends and Treebeard, to be precise. And he has the March of the Ents ability, which gives all Ents near him extra armor, vision range, and speed. Oh, and extra attack range as well. So you could have summoned these all the way back here, and they could attack the fortress. That's how good they are. And we are victorious. So overall, Rohan I give an 8 out of 10. Massive array of heroes. And I mean massive. So many, in fact, that we didn't see Treebeard's face until Gambling and Harmer left. That's how many we had. And the game's still lagging a lot. Yeah, you get some Gondor units to protect you. You have a large array of units, including cavalry. I believe you get 6 different kinds of cavalry, including the Helmingas. 6 units of cavalry. That is crazy. And Lodges only had 2. And I'd say your 3 best cavalry units beat the Imladris Riders of Imladris. And I'd say they're one of the best cavalry units of the game. So the fact your middle tier and then your 2 late tier cavalry units surpass them is insane. And obviously, a hero for every situation. You want to go West Folders, you get Erkenbrand and your West Folders. Spam them out. You suffer very little damage to archers, and you are incredibly tanky in general. You want to go all cavalry. You can go Eomer. You can go with Elf Helm to make your units stronger, more reliable, more resources. You just have something for everything as Rohan. Where Imladris had it all split off into 3 different buildings for like late tier, early tier, mid tier. You can just go all for one building. That's not the archery range. Your barracks or your cavalry, your stables, and you can just work from that. You really cannot go wrong with no matter what you do with Rohan. And I think that mainly comes down to the fact you have the Helmingas. They are so good, so incredibly good. They are, oh my god, they are incredibly good. But overall, the main weakness of Rohan comes from fighting pikeman nations. You fight against a Gondor, a Erebor, that goes mainly infantry. You're going to want to go into archers, and your archers aren't the best. Yes, you can get cavalry archers, but then you're kind of falling back on, you've built the stable, so now you're building cavalry instead of just building normal archers, which are cheaper, and I say more efficient. Your infantry are just in general better archers than your cavalry archers. I'm just going to get that out there now. So yeah, you're not the best at everything, but you're the best at cavalry. And that's what makes you so... That's what makes Rohan, in most situations, a threat. And that's why they're 8 out. That's why I say I will call them 8 out of 10. Dogaldor and Imlarge I say are 9 out of 10, just because they have more dependable elite troops that serve one purpose instead of being more multi-class. But yeah, I've rambled on enough. I'm sure you guys have all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Ta-ta for now.